I never imagined that someone from my late husband's past would return and shift my world so deeply. The next turn of events left me stunned, a genuine tale of betrayal. It's with a mix of trepidation and resolve that I find myself sharing this with you, a revelation about a night steeped in secrecy, complexity, and a hint of the forbidden. On that fateful day, the day that altered the course of my life, I initially believed it was merely about avoiding solitude on my 64th birthday. Yet, beneath Adrian's insistence to keep me company lay a depth of meaning I had yet to uncover. The tension that lingered between us, those unspoken desires, and all that we had buried for so long could never be entirely dismissed. On that day, everything reached its climax. Allow me to recount the tale from its very inception. Adrian held the position of stepson to Thomas. At the age of 28, he exudes confidence and determination, a presence that could easily captivate me from the very first glance. In the year that Thomas departed from this world, he would come to visit frequently, at times lingering with me for days on end. Yet, 2 years prior, he vanished without a trace. In his absence, the moments we shared remained ensconced in the most profound recesses of my memory. I endeavored to erase him from my thoughts, to cast aside those lingering memories, yet I found myself unable to do so. And then the day arrived when he stood at my doorstep. He claimed he needed to search for some documents in the garage, yet I sensed right away that his visit held a deeper purpose. Adrian's gaze remained unchanged, a look that unearthed every emotion I had carefully concealed, rendering me completely unready for the onslaught. As he flashed a smile while clutching a stack of papers, it dawned on me that this visit held deeper significance, and, indeed, I was correct in my intuition. The gramophone he had set in the garage, the very one I had longed for even during Thomas's lifetime, stood there with my cherished record resting upon it. The papers served merely as a pretext, the true focus was entirely on me. As soon as my eyes landed on that gramophone, an overwhelming surge of emotion coursed through me, as if my heart might leap from my chest. Later, Adrian departed with little to say, yet that evening he returned, a cake in hand. That well-known smile lingered, yet it now carried a profound depth. "I didn't want you to spend your 64th birthday alone, Elena," he said, and in that moment, I understood that this was about far more than just a birthday celebration. Adrian was on the brink of offering me an evening beyond my wildest dreams. That night, a transformation unfolded, and now I shall recount every detail. As I swung the door open, Adrian stood before me, and I found myself utterly unprepared for the sight that greeted me. This was no ordinary visit, I sensed it immediately. He cradled a delicate cake, his sharp suit accentuating his poised demeanor. His smile carried a different weight, imbued with deeper significance, radiating a more profound intensity. At 28, Adrian exuded a unique blend of maturity and youthful energy, rendering him utterly captivating. "Happy birthday, Elena," he said, his voice radiating warmth that seemed to envelop the entire doorway. His words caught me off guard and awakened an ineffable sensation deep within my chest. He had recalled the anniversary of my birth. For the first time, a presence had arrived to commemorate with such thoughtfulness. "I didn't want you to turn 64 alone," he added, his captivating smile widening. "This evening promises to be extraordinary. If this tale strikes a chord within you, consider joining my channel, subscribing, and activating notifications to stay updated on future narratives. Believe me, this will be one of the most exhilarating tales you have ever encountered." Words lingered on the tip of my tongue, trapped in the confines of my throat. Adrian set the cake down on the coffee table and moved in closer to me. "But Elena," he murmured, his gaze sweeping over me with a tender touch. "This evening holds the potential for something truly extraordinary. Let us honor this occasion in a manner befitting your worth. Slip into a lovely dress and let us transform this evening into an unforgettable experience." Initially, I considered declining, but his soft yet unwavering gaze rendered it unfeasible. I gave a subtle nod and ascended the stairs. With each step I ascended, an unfamiliar thrill surged within me. As I swung open the doors of my wardrobe, my gaze was drawn to the black dress that had remained untouched for years. I glided my fingers across the fabric before making my way to the mirror. Before donning the dress, I stood before the mirror, letting memories wash over me as I prepared for the evening. My skin retained its firmness and youthful glow. I ran my hands along my waist, inclined my body just a touch, and examined my shoulders with a keen eye. I found myself whispering, "I am truly captivating." At 64 years of age, I felt as though I had managed to elude the relentless march of time. With a smile playing on my lips, I slipped into the dress, savoring the feeling of being truly special in that instant. As I made my way down the stairs, a hauntingly familiar melody drifted from the living room, caressing my ears. That song held a special place in my heart. With each passing moment, my pace diminished and a surge of adrenaline quickened my heartbeat. How did Adrian come to know? I had never brought it up to him. Perplexed yet captivated, I ventured into the living room. In the heart of the room, Adrian positioned the gramophone with precision, selecting the perfect record to fill the air with its melodies. Upon catching sight of me, his eyes sparkled with a newfound brightness. The expression of admiration etched on his face conveyed a profound message, silent yet powerful. "What led you to that conclusion?" I inquired, my astonishment barely concealed. Adrian offered a gentle smile, his eyes steady and unyielding. "I heard you, Elena," he said. "You may have believed you were the sole listener in our exchanges, yet the reality is that I was attuned to your words all along. I held on to each detail you mentioned, every passion you shared, as if they were treasures etched in my memory." His words enveloped me in a comforting embrace. It felt like an eternity since I had experienced the profound sensation of being genuinely acknowledged, of being fully understood. Adrian approached, his hand reaching out toward me. "This evening is dedicated entirely to you, Elena. My purpose is to ensure you feel truly valued." As the melody enveloped the space, I found it impossible to overlook the profound intensity and resolve reflected in his gaze. We settled into our seats and began to converse, yet this was no typical exchange of words. It was infused with the myriad of feelings and emotions we had kept hidden for an eternity. The attraction between us intensified with each fleeting moment. Adrian's voice pierced the atmosphere, rich and laden with feeling. "Are you aware of the reasons behind my absence, Elena?" His question took me by surprise, and my eyes were drawn to his emerald gaze, attempting to unravel the direction of this conversation. He hesitated briefly, as though weighing his words with great care. "I've always been drawn to you," he finally confessed, his voice gentle yet resonant enough to envelop the space. "I witnessed the longing, the fervor, the thrill that resided within you. I had always perceived it, yet the emotions it stirred within me filled me with fear. Elena, I was aware. Your presence became unbearable for me. My body yearned to race towards you, yet my mind incessantly whispered that it was a mistake." His words enveloped me in a comforting warmth, yet they also stirred a tempest of confusion within. My heart raced uncontrollably, yet I understood the necessity of maintaining my composure. Drawing in a measured breath, I fixed my gaze upon him. "Adrian, you mustn't say this," I replied, yet the quiver in my voice revealed the turmoil within me. "I know I shouldn't," he murmured, his gaze dropping just a fraction. Yet, as he lifted his gaze to meet mine once more, the fervor in his eyes anchored me firmly to the spot, yet I can no longer contain it. "Elena, for 2 long years you have lingered in my thoughts, an unshakable presence. Your gaze, your laughter, every aspect of you lingers in my thoughts. In every place I found myself, your presence lingered. My heart refused to let me forget." His confession, raw and unfiltered, caught me off guard and stirred a profound thrill within me. My hands were firmly intertwined in my lap, and I became aware of their subtle tremors. "Adrian, this isn't right," I said, even as I struggled to resist the undeniable allure he exuded. "Our bond, it feels off." Adrian inclined a bit nearer, bending his knees as he perched, tilting in my direction. His eyes shimmered with an unwavering resolve. "Right or wrong," he declared, his voice a quiet yet unwavering force. "I cannot deny what stirs within me, and neither can you, Elena. Your gaze reveals it all. This bond we share is undeniably genuine. In that fleeting instant, I found myself at a loss for words, for he spoke the truth. This tension between us had always existed, a connection I had attempted to overlook for years, emotions I was reluctant to confront, yet they had intensified, drawing me in deeper with each passing moment. In his gaze and his words, everything reverberated within me. "Thank you for not abandoning me that day," I finally uttered, my voice trembling with feeling. "However, Adrian, this situation is perilous. If we venture deeper, neither of us will find a way to retreat." Adrian gently extended his hand, his fingers brushing softly against mine. His touch dismantled every rational wall I had constructed. "I refuse to go back, Elena," he declared. "I yearn to embrace this moment with you, to express the depths of my feelings, to convey just how extraordinary you are to me." Tears brimmed in my eyes, yet these emotions did not shatter me. Instead, they liberated a profound essence within. His words revealed a fervor he had concealed for far too long. "As I gaze upon you," he went on, his voice a gentle whisper laced with fervor, "I perceive more than mere beauty. In this moment, I perceive a remarkable blend of strength, fervor, and an exuberant zest for existence. Though you may claim to be 64, in my eyes, you have forever embodied the essence of youth and allure, and those emotions, they will remain constant." His words shattered the remnants of my defiance. I inhaled deeply and turned my gaze toward him. "Adrian," I murmured, my voice quivering as I leaned closer, "you perceive me in a manner I haven't experienced in years, and I cannot refute that." The ensuing silence was thick, yet it conveyed all that needed to be expressed. We exchanged glances, and in that silence, every unvoiced truth came to light. The irresistible attraction that bound us had grown impossible to ignore, unchangeable. As Adrian's lips finally brushed against mine, a torrent of repressed emotions surged forth, overwhelming me. His kiss ignited a fervor within me, compelling me to face the emotions I had long kept buried. Yet, the sheer intensity of it filled me with a sense of fear. The rational side of my mind continued to resist, insisting that surrender was not an option. In an instant, I withdrew, inhaling deeply. "Adrian," I murmured, my voice quivering. Uncertainty clouded my thoughts, leaving me at a loss for words. Enveloped by his gaze, I sensed my grip on reality beginning to fade. My heart raced as I retreated, yearning to create distance between us. I rushed silently to my bedroom, words escaping me. As I closed the door softly, I pivoted to confront the reflection in the mirror. My cheeks burned with a rosy hue, and my eyes sparkled with a mix of exhilaration and bewilderment. My hands continued to quiver ever so slightly. "What am I engaged in?" I murmured softly to myself. Yet, beneath the surface, a voice persisted, unyielding and fueled by an insatiable longing. I gazed into the mirror with a discerning eye, examining the delicate lines etched upon my face, subtle whispers of time's passage. Yet, my gaze wandered down to my body, still firm and youthful. "I still possess it," I whispered, a faint, conflicted smile blossoming on my lips. Yet, in a curious twist, that realization only served to entangle matters further. At that moment, the gentle creak of the door reached my ears. I pivoted and caught sight of Adrian's resolute stare as he entered the room. He kept his gaze fixed on me as he shut the door behind him and stepped nearer. "Elena," he said, his voice a hushed whisper yet filled with determination. "I cannot allow you to escape." I gazed at him, yet words eluded me. Adrian bridged the gap that separated us, and we shared a moment of truth, unspoken but deeply understood. This kiss intensified everything, drawing me deeper into a realm beyond my control. One by one, my defenses began to crumble. Unable to restrain myself any further, we moved closer, the emotional weight of the moment stronger than any words. His presence stirred something deep inside me, long forgotten but never lost. Adrian's presence drew me in, each moment heavier with emotion than the last. My body, instinctively, reacted to his every caress. Yet the fervor of this illicit longing utterly engulfed me. I took a small step back, not in flight, but to regain my breath. I chose a dress I hadn't worn in years, slipping it on with a quiet reverence for the moment. Time felt suspended as I embraced a version of myself I hadn't seen in years. As I caught a fleeting glimpse of my reflection in the mirror, a wave of courage surged through me. "Adrian," I murmured, my voice scarcely rising above a whisper. "Tonight, I allow myself to feel something I haven't felt in years, truly seen." Those words ignited a spark in his eyes, a flame that could not be overlooked. He seemed to shed more than just a layer of clothing, his vulnerability was laid bare. As he shrugged it off, exposing his powerful, athletic physique, my heart quickened further with each step he tipped closer to me. Every fiber of my being was drawn to him. Adrian's hands found their way to my waist once more, leading me softly toward the bed. As I reclined, he settled beside me, his essence enveloping every corner of the room. There was a tenderness in his gestures that reached straight into the core of me. With each caress, he delved into the depths of my being, stirring emotions and desires that had long lain dormant within me. This moment marked the dawn of a night beyond my wildest dreams, and I felt an unwavering certainty that everything would change from that point forward. The whirlwind of events unfolded with such rapidity that my heart threatened to escape the confines of my chest. I gazed at Adrian, my confusion mingling with the profound intensity of my longing. "Never could I have imagined such a moment," I uttered, breathless, yet at this very instant, more than anything, this is what I desire. My heart brims with excitement and longing. Adrian inclined his head just a fraction, a gentle yet resolute smile unfurling upon his lips. "Elena," he murmured, his voice steady and profoundly enchanting, anchoring me where I stood. "We have always yearned for this, yet each time we found ourselves fleeing from it. This evening is not suitable. This evening we shall remain still, not rushing off to any destination." In that instant, Adrian's words dismantled the final remnants of my fortifications. I had relinquished any concern for the destination this night might lead us to. I was prepared to immerse myself completely in the experience. Something immense surged within me, so powerful that I felt compelled to close my eyes, gripping the edge of the bedside table with one hand while clutching the other tightly. The sheer intensity of the experience rendered me breathless, my eyes closed for 2 or 3 minutes as I endeavored to concentrate solely on the sensations enveloping me. As I slowly opened my eyes and gazed up at the ceiling, I found Adrian leaning over me. His hair fell in untamed disarray, while a sheen of sweat adorned his forehead, catching the light just so. Just as I was contemplating the perfection of the moment, Adrian extended his hand and gently placed it over mine on the bed. All of it seemed like a dream, both surreal and strikingly vivid. As I turned my gaze to the mirror and beheld the reflection of us in that moment, I found myself unable to restrain my emotions any further. I was overwhelmed, not by fear, but by the force of rediscovered passion. This was a longing and fervor I had never encountered before, and I found myself completely astonished by my own responses. And then there was Adrian, utterly mesmerizing, and I could scarcely fathom his existence. His cheeks glowed with a rosy hue, and he inundated me with a cascade of compliments. My voice quivered softly as I murmured, "Adrian, you are remarkable, without a doubt. This night is one I wish could stretch on forever." The thrill in his eyes seemed to intensify with each passing moment. With my other hand, I extended it and laid it gently over his chest, sensing the quickened rhythm of his heart. "I have always desired you," I confessed, scarcely able to trust the truth of my own declaration. "This is truly unbelievable." Once more I shut my eyes, yielding to the enveloping warmth that coursed through my being. In that precise instant, a searing warmth enveloped my entire essence. Adrian, his breath ragged and unsteady, fell beside me. With a resolute look etched across his features, Adrian propped himself up and extended his hand toward his phone. He turned to me, his fingers deftly unlocking the screen. "Elena, I have something to share with you," he said, as he angled the phone in my direction. My eyes grew wide with surprise. It was an image of a cottage by the lake, a quaint, inviting, and serene spot, precisely the sort of haven I had always envisioned. "I wish to bring you to this place," he declared, his tone a blend of earnestness and longing. "In a distant corner of this house, it's just the two of us, separated from the rest of the world. Tomorrow morning, we shall visit this place, and upon our arrival, I will request that you don an outfit I have selected for you." This evening, I encountered the woman of my dreams. You are that woman, Elena. It has always been you. His words unleashed a tempest within me, causing my heart to quicken its pace. I gazed at him, utterly speechless. This was not merely a fleeting tale, it was an entrance to a realm of boundless possibilities. Though the mysteries that lay beyond that door were unknown to me, an unfamiliar sense of courage enveloped me. For the first time, I felt no fear, for I was not crossing the threshold alone. This is merely the start, with much more yet to unfold. If you've journeyed to this point, it's clear that this tale has resonated with you on a profound level. There is an abundance of insights waiting to be unveiled, and every nuance is worth your attention. Be sure to tap the follow button, activate notifications, and share your thoughts on this story in the comments. I eagerly anticipate your insights, so let's engage in the comments section. Your support is invaluable to me.